Once he stood up, I was like, yeah, it's a wrap, bro. You can have my burgers, bro. My girlfriend just, oh my God, like, it's touching me.
He had like, pink cocaine, right?
There's pink cocaine? He went straight back, and all you hear is like 8 more rounds. Just boom, 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 boom. That was crazy.
And all of a sudden, like, something goes wrong, and the whole thing containing the radiation explodes.
Like, next thing you know, mermans and mermaids are coming out.
The whole
Hey, you never know, mermaids.
Underwater.
Hey, that makes sense. Welcome to the Overthinkers podcast, guys. My name is Marco.
My name is Melissa.
And we got a couple stories for you guys.
Let's get into it.
So, for the first story. This happened to me like around, what was it, like? I know it happened during summertime, June, like 2 years ago. This happened in South Lake Tahoe. And I had a run-in with 2 black bears, 2 big boys. And one was during the day, one was during the night. And I'm not... To be honest, like, the night one, that scared the shit out of me, to be honest. You can bleep that or no. But yeah, let's get into it. So this is 2 years ago, June 30. Like, it was like June, summertime. It was really hot. And this is my first time ever camping, right? So, obviously, knowing me, you know, I bought a big I bought a big tent. It was like it's a 20-person tent. It's a big tent. Yeah, it's a pretty big tent. Because I want to be comfortable, you know? I don't want to be so, like...
But 20-person tent.
A 20-person tent for just me and my girlfriend. And we went to Salt Lake Tahoe, and I'm not going to name the campground, but apparently it's pretty well known for having a lot of black bears. And what's funny is that when I was going through the reviews of the camp, all you see is pictures of black bears, reviews, watch out for the black bears, and this is the one I picked.
They literally warned you.
They warned me, you know? And everybody, all my friends over here were saying, don't, like, watch out for bears, watch out for bears. I was just like, you know what, the chance of me seeing a black bear.
Did you, like, even take any, like, bear spray or anything?
No, so I did not take any bear spray, no nothing.
Number one mistake.
No, like, little machete, nothing. Just
little machete?
Nothing to protect myself, right? So the first time, the black bear, this is during, we went to the beach. So the camp that we went to in Salt Lake Tahoe has, like, a little private beach. We went to the beach. This was Friday afternoon. We came back. I was like, obviously, the long road. We came from all the way from home. So it was like 2.5-hour drive. As soon as we got there, we unpacked everything. We went straight to the beach. When we came back, it was like close to sunset, 7 p.m., 6 p.m. around that time. It's pretty hot still. And we came back from the beach. And I'm hungry. So me and my girlfriend started making hot dogs. And I don't know where. I mean, obviously, you know, you start hearing pots and pans, just like sounds, like weird sounds, just pots and pans, and then cars beeping. Mind you, like, this is my first time camping in Lake Tahoe, so I didn't put 2 to 2 together. So I'm like, you know what? And it's getting louder, and it's getting louder, and it's getting louder. So my girlfriend has a Jeep, right? And it's parked forward in a little campsite. And then, you know the road that goes to the campsites, like where you drive the car? And her car is forward. It's facing our tent, right? So I go to the edge of the car,
and you see a bear.
And I look down the road to my right, and there's a big black bear. And he's coming. He's not like running. He's just like strolling by on the road, and he's getting to like a couple feet with me, like within a couple feet, and then he's like. He smells the hot dogs because right now my girlfriend is cooking. We're cooking right now. We're cooking the hot dogs and burgers. We had bread out and all that. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's going to go ham on our stuff. And he's coming closer and closer and closer. And I'm right there. I'm like, I'm not budging, man. I love my hot dogs and my hamburgers, man. I'm not budging. And after that, I didn't scare him off, but he was like, you know what? I don't want to mess with him. So he went to the other campsite right in front of us. And the campsite, the people in that campsite, they scared him, and he went straight to me again. I'm like, this guy, round 2, huh? And then he came back. He got so close. I was like, what, within 2 feet? I had like pots and pans, and I was like smashing the pots, and I'm trying to tell my girlfriend at the same time, yo, hurry up. You know, this guy's gonna go ham on the hot dogs and hamburgers. And he was within 2 feet. I swear, it's within 2 feet. Big black bear. And this boy stood up. Once he stood up, yep, he stood up. Once he stood up, yep, within 2 feet. Once he stood up, I was like, yeah, it's a wrap, bro. You can have my burgers, bro. And then I was like, yeah, you can take it, bro. It's really not that serious, bro. He took it. Once I was like, Chelsea, let's go. I was like, let's go to the side. Because, like, I don't want her to, you know how they get when they have food and you want to take it away? Like, let's go. And this was the first bear sighting that day. So, you know how a lot of people come from, like, all over the state and country. So, that was the first bear sighting in that campground. This is so embarrassing. So, that was the first bear sighting. So, obviously, we moved to the side. And then she calls I guess in this campsite, there's designated rangers. That's how bad the bear problem is in that area. But it's a big campsite, so it takes a while for them to get there. Meanwhile, since it's the first bear sighting, mind you, he's at the picnic table going ham, eating the bread, eating the whatever he can get his hands in. And we're just over here like, damn, bro, all our food's going to be eat up and all that. I tried to scare him off, but like I said, once he stood up, it was over. So then, since it was the first bear sighting, look, I'm not even joking. The whole campsite, you know, like a horseshoe, the whole campsite made like a U pattern of a horseshoe around our campsite, just looking at the bear. And everybody's recording, everybody's on Snapchat, everybody's FaceTiming, and there's always that one guy who says, "Whose campsite is that?" And I'm just like,
oh hell no.
I'm just like, yeah, that's me. And everybody's like, "Oh my god, we're so sorry. Like, if you want food, like, here you go." I was like, "Nah, we're good." As soon as I said that, that's when the ranger comes. And then the ranger, like, he pulls up in a Jeep, and a lot of old Jeep, and he scares the bear off, right? So that was after the bear ran off, you know, he told us, "Hey, don't leave food out." I'm like, "Bro, like, we just came from the beach. Cooking. We're going to eat. Yeah, we're going to cook, you know?" And then, yeah, once I get through all his stuff, like, yeah, burgers, hot dogs, the bread, everything was pretty much bit. So we threw all that food away and put everything in the bear locker. I wasn't even hungry. I lost my appetite after that. But the second one, in the same day.
The same day?
The same day, at nighttime. Okay. So,
what if it was the same bear, but he came back?
I don't know. Maybe, yeah, round 2. He went to round 2. So, I don't know if it was the same. I don't know. Like I said, I never physically saw it because it was so dark, but on the second day, I mean, it was the same night, but at like nighttime, like at 2 or 3 in the morning. Mind you, if you ever go camping at a campsite, 2 or 3 in the morning, it's dead silent. You can't even hear nothing, but you can hear when twigs, like, you know, when there's like a big animal,
snaps.
Yeah, when twigs snap in the forest, you hear it. So mind you, we're in the 25% tent. The tent's shaped like a Y, and we're in the middle with the queen mattress. Me and my girlfriend, she's sleeping. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty stressed out for the first time.
I could not sleep.
I couldn't sleep. And I don't know why, but I always had stomach problems. So I always make sure I get the campsite right next to the bathroom. So I'm like, in the middle of the night, I don't want to walk like half a mile or like down the block to go to the bathroom. And so since it was pitch dark, the bathroom had lights, and the lights will overshine over the tent. So you can kind of see like shadows and stuff like that. And I woke up in the middle of the night at 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'm like, yo, I gotta go. Like, you know when you gotta go now? Like, you gotta go now.
Yeah, you get that feeling.
Yeah, you get that feeling. You say you gotta go now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And so I woke up, I'm like, damn, I gotta go. And I had my little, I forgot, it was a small ass flashlight. I had to go, and I was about to open the door, but I'm not like, for real, legit. I was legit scared from the first time. And I woke my girlfriend up. I don't care. I was actually legit scared. And I woke her up, and she's like, yeah, I have to go to the bathroom too. I'm like, okay. So we were both planning on going to the bathroom. It's like right across from us, a couple feet. And you know that sixth sense in your body when you're like,
there's
something is off.
Yeah.
I don't know, but ever since growing up, I always have that sixth sense. And so as soon as, you know, the little zipper to unzip the tent? Yeah. She was about to unzip it, and I was like, hold on.
There's something.
Do not open it. I have a bad feeling about this. As soon as she was, like, you know the little zipping part, when the zipping noise, she was zipping it. And I'm like, don't do it. Wait. Hold on. I have a bad feeling, and I'm usually right. As soon as I told her, stop what you're doing. Do not open it. Just wait. I have a bad feeling. I looked to my left, because mind you, like I said, the light of the bathrooms like shine over the tent, and I didn't put the rain cover, so you can see the lights. I look to my left, and all you see is this humongous bear shadow. Like, I never physically seen the bear, but the shadow is definitely a bear. At this point, I'm pretty much freaking out. I have a small ass knife.
And you gotta use the bathroom.
And I gotta use gotta go like now. And then as soon as I saw that black bear, all that went away. Like, gone instant. I didn't even have to go anymore. Like losing your appetite for food, gone. So then I'm like, damn, this is round 2 with this guy again. Like, damn. Like, this guy didn't get full the first time. And so I see the shadow. And then that's when my girlfriend, like, oh, she's like, okay, like, look, maybe he hears us. Maybe he's not. It's just trying to, like, you know, maybe like, I mean, all of our food is in the in the bear locker. So, you know, we're fine with food. I'm assuming we don't have anything, just like water and stuff in the tent, right? At this point. And the bear is like, he's just throwing around. He's just like around the tent smelling stuff, but you can hear him and you can see the shadow. So then I was just like, you know what? Let's just go to sleep. Maybe it's gonna run away, walk away. It's gonna go to the next campsite and so forth, right? Go back to sleep.
You were able to go to sleep?
No, I did not go to sleep. I was like, one eye open the whole time. And then I guess I'm getting freaked out because every now and then you hear the twigs just like break because something's big on there. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's coming back again. And next thing you know, he's right next to us once again. She's still sleeping. Like I said, I'm not sleeping. I'm just like one eye open. And all of a sudden, damn, man, I hate this day. All of a sudden, my girlfriend just, oh my god, like, it's touching me, like, it just starts going off, and I'm over here freaking out. I'm freaking out. Because it's like, it's fight or flight mode at this point. Like, you know, it's freaking out. And mind you, I don't have no lights, like, no, like, lanterns or anything, no big ones that I can just turn the light on and you can see the whole tent. No, I did not, unfortunately. And so she's freaking out. I'm freaking out, you know. She's over here trying to find, there's no service. Well, there is service, but like in certain areas of the tent, which is weird. So she's like, we didn't have no rain cover. So she's like this on the top of the tent. So mind you, the tent's high. It's really high. It's a big person tent. So it's high, and she's like going like this. And then she's getting service, but every time she goes like that, she loses the service. So she's trying to get service in order to call the Rangers to get over here. But by that time, I mean, it takes a while. And she's doing that. And I have a little ass knife next to me. And mind you, the tent is so dark, I can't even see my own hand. So I can see her shape, like my girlfriend's shape, but I can't even see her. That's how dark it is. Can't even see my own hands, right? And good thing that when we set up the tent, the sticks, I make sure they're all like rock solid, like they're not gonna move. Cause after the whole service thing, and she's trying to get the phone. Oh my god, the blackberry started like nudging. You're lying. Oh my god, I started nudging like the side of the tent. But thank God I made sure that the sticks are nice and secured. So he starts nudging it. And that side starts like not like super rocking, but like you know when wind hits the tent, yeah, like that. And he's hitting it. And I'm freaking out. The more he does it, I'm like, damn. Is this how I go out? Like in the news, like 2 people go down, like get killed by a black bear in South Lake Tahoe. Like, damn, this is crazy. And
it's time.
It's so crazy. Mind you, you can say all you want right now, but when you're in that situation, you're like, you have to fight. You can't think. Like, you don't think. You just gotta act. And I wasn't really thinking. I was overthinking it. He's nudging it, and she's freaking out even more. And I'm like, damn. What am I going to do? It's either, if I know I can't run, because if I run, he's going to think I'm prey and stuff like that. Yeah. And she's freaking out. She's freaking me out more. And then once she got to the point where, like, oh my God, she like, at this point, she's like, oh yeah, it's touching me. Mind you, at this point, I thought I was already inside. I was like, well, damn, I either have to choke him out or something. Like, I can't run away. And I had that little ass knife. And something, you know, when you get to the last, like, you're like, damn, if this is how I go, this is how I go. Right?
You gave in?
I gave in. I was like, okay, if I give in right now, that's it. Damn. Or I can fight. And I was like, something inside me was just like, you got to fight. Or there's no one's coming to save you. By the time you get here, the ranger's going to be like an hour away. And I was like, something inside me just got me so mad. I started cussing at the bear. I was like, get out of my tent. And I was just going off. I was like, mind you, this is 2 or 3 in the morning.
Bro,
so the whole everybody in the campsite is like, what's going on? And that's when I see the flashlights turn on in the tent. What's going on? What's going on? And mind you, I'm just going off on this bitch. Just like, get out of my side. And he just books it. And then that's when everybody is getting up. Hey, what's going on? Is there a bear? I'm like, yeah, bro. Like 30 minutes ago, like I would have been dead by now. And the park ranger comes like 5 minutes. Mind you, that night we didn't even sleep in the tent. We slept in our car. I was stressed out. But before we slept in the car, the park rangers came. And when the park rangers came, they did a little patrol, whatever you want to call it, a little patrol around the tent. And come to find out, the bear made like a slash through the tent. So, like I said, it was so dark, and obviously it was a black bear, you know. We didn't know if he was actually inside, like his whole head was inside, or he was just like nudging at the tent. But when he did his patrol, he found out that it was actually a slash through the tent. So she actually probably got touched by the bear. That's why probably she freaked out even more. And it was even worse because like we couldn't even see anything. Mm-hmm. And so after he did his patrol, this guy, just duct tape it and then sleep in there. I'm like, bro, what?
Oh, hell no.
I was like, you tripping. And he gave us like the I don't know, gorilla tape, whatever you call it. And then we just duct tape it. And then you know those little like makeshift tables? We put it in front of it. And I was like, yo, I'm not sleeping in this tent tonight. Hell no. And so we slept in the car. But I don't think I probably slept like 2 or 3 hours. And we were in the car. Like every now and then I would like people eye like, yo, is this guy gonna come back for round 3 or what? I was like the whole night I didn't even sleep. It's like every hour I would sleep like a little bit. But I was imagining that the black bitch just snatched the window and just snatched me. I'm gone, bro. And that is my bear story. He's around 3, come back and just snatched me from the car. But that's round 3. But yeah, that was pretty, and that was my first time ever camping in South Lake Tahoe. Like actual camping, like in a tent, not glamping, camping. And since then, I can say I was. Oh, and then quick thing. So when it was nudging at the tent with his nose, I don't know why, but I went like up to the screen of the tent, and mind you, at this point, I didn't know I was there. But it got so close to the tent of the screen that the air, like when he would breathe, would go through the tent. And it hit my face. And boom. Oh, my God. This is a bear. That's how I knew it was a bear.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, I never physically saw it. But yeah, that was pretty much my bear story.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And
embarrassing.
Didn't you say after that you bought like construction lights?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So going forward now, since that story, I went again. But I didn't have the courage to do tents. To do camping, like tents. So I did the cabins. But even though it was cabins, they still had bears around.
Man, still got construction lights.
I'm not playing. I got construction lights, Christmas lights. I lit up the whole like campsite in our side. I was like, my girlfriend was like, yo, you're doing too much. Like, no. I went to Home Depot, got a big light, and then just lit the whole like table and like barbecue area because I was not playing that time. And what was so funny is that every now and then, so we were like half a mile from like the tent sites, because the tent sites and then the cabins, every now and then you hear bear. I was like, not this time, man. I'm ready for this time. But yeah, that's pretty much my.
Able to be like locked into the cabins.
Well, yeah, I can just and then the windows, they had like you couldn't open them. They had nails, because I guess they can like just break it easily, or like chicken fence like that, so they won't just like break the window because they can climb. But yeah, it was pretty epic for my bear story.
That's crazy. So you literally cussed out a black bear and then went away.
I tried to, but it didn't work out.
Oh my God. For the next story, the next thing I'm gonna talk about, I was pretty like surprised about it. So like I've always been like a One Directioner since elementary school, and like I remember in like 2nd grade, my parents even got me like a One Direction backpack and everything. Until like it was in like October, right? And all of a sudden my friend texted in the group chat like, oh, like Liam Payne died. And I was like, wait, what? You're like, you're lying. And then I literally looked it up on Google, and then like it said like, oh yeah, like Liam Payne died because he fell from like a
balcony, right, or something like that.
Balcony from a hotel in like Argentina, and then like it was like a 3-story like balcony, right? And I was like, this is pretty crazy because, like, he was only 31 when he died.
He was pretty young.
Yeah, so he was pretty young. And he had, like, a son and everything. So I was like, damn, like, this is pretty crazy. But, like, the whole thing, like, surrounding his death is, like, interesting because, like...
Suspicious.
Yeah, because, like, I remember at first when, like, it came out, TikTok, like, people on TikTok were, like, saying, like, oh, was it suicide or was he like being pushed? Like, what if he got pushed? But then like later like the toxicology report came out, and it said like he had like a lot of like drugs and alcohol in his system. Like he had like pink cocaine, right?
Pink cocaine?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
No.
There's pink cocaine? I just knew there was
okay.
white cocaine, not pink. So they just
pink.
Food coloring or what?
Pink cocaine is basically like a whole bunch of like drugs put together.
Oh, so they just it's like cocaine and then just mix it?
Like it's basically it's like cocaine's in it, but like also other drugs, and they put
other
it
drugs
together.
mixed and put it together.
All together, right?
So it's like kind of more, I guess, stronger, I guess you can say.
I guess. So they found like pink cocaine. They found regular cocaine in his system. They also found crack, and then this other drug called like benziphenia, or I don't know how to say that, but like basically they found drugs and alcohol in the system. And then when like images from his hotel room came out, and like the TV of his hotel room was smashed.
Oh, so it's probably like they were fighting, like he was fighting something,
and then they also found like basically the drugs like on a table nearby. So like
if somebody just put it there.
Well, that's what I was like. It's kind of like weird how like
weird.
The drugs were just there, but like obviously because of these images, like something happened in the room.
Something happened that led to maybe him falling off.
But like then like the 911 call from like the hotel staff came out, and then it like came out saying how like the hotel staff like called for the police because like Liam was making chaos in his room.
Oh, wow.
Like, I guess, like...
So probably his neighbors, like, in the hotel rooms are like, yo,
something's going on in the room. Like, we need the police, right?
Oh, wow.
But I guess, like, the police, like, took a while because, like, when they came back, like, they already found him dead, like, in the floor. So, like, it's just, like, pretty crazy how, like, that whole thing happened. And then as of now, like, 3 people have been charged with it. And one of them was like a hotel employee. They like supplied him with cocaine.
What?
And then the other one was that like a regular like drug dealer that like supplied them with cocaine. And then the other one was like they weren't charged they were charged because they abandoned him. Like abandonment of like a person, and they charge you with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically charged them. So they charged 3 people with it.
3 people with murder.
Well, not murder. The 2 were murder. The other one wasn't.
Oh, but it was kind of like an inside job because of the hotel guy, right?
Yeah. It was like, it's all pretty like weird.
And also like, I'm pretty sure like, there's regulations with like the height requirement for like, the balcony, because I'm pretty sure it's at least like your waist, No,
and then like, later, like, I think the day or 2 days after, his dad actually went to the hotel.
Yeah, I seen that video.
And like they literally captured his dad like on the balcony, like
he
trying to
figure out how did my son just fall down, like, you know what I mean?
It's like pretty weird. And then what's really messed up is like I think a day after or like a couple hours after, TMZ, like TMZ, right? Mm-hmm. They like released a photo of like him on the floor. Oh. Which is, like, really messed up, and it's, like, really disrespectful. To imagine the family members and his friends and all that. Yeah. So, like, that's, like, pretty messed up. But all that happened. And also, like, obviously, I'm assuming he was, drugged or whatever, right? Oh, yeah. He was. But imagine just, like, when you go over the rail, you're, like, you already know you're going to die. What goes through your mind, you know what I mean? The last couple seconds. But I feel like, when I think of it, like, 3-story, I feel like... Probably like you break a leg, probably an arm, but like he probably like hit his like head. Yeah, what happened was he probably hit his head, and then just it's too much of an impact. He can't come back from that. Was 3 stories or 4 stories? 3 stories. Yeah, that's pretty high, and if you land straight on your head. Yeah, it was bad.
And they just say if you do survive, you have to have like medical as soon as possible, you know, because every second counts.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Definitely. That is definitely crazy.
Wow. For my second story, I'm gonna talk about the Menendez brothers, and I know it's a hot topic.
Yeah, especially lately because like the Netflix series.
Yeah, especially because did you watch it? Did you watch Netflix?
I watched it, but low key, it was kind of confusing, and it actually got backlash too from like the Menendez brothers.
The Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
So according to the information that's out there, right, the Menendez brothers, they were like a wealthy family.
Mm-hmm. They lived in Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. So they were pretty wealthy, and apparently it was just like obviously the mom and dad, and then two brothers, right? And from the information that they provided was that the Menendez brothers were getting like sexually assaulted by their dad.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about that is that the mom knew about it.
Not do anything.
That is crazy.
But also the mom, she was like suicidal when she was going through it too.
I think she was like drinking like a lot of
she
pills
was, like,
and like
she was very alcoholic, and she probably was like taking drugs too. But it's because like she was deeply in love with the father.
Yeah.
And then like you know how she found out he had an affair and everything.
Oh yeah, an affair too. Yep.
So like she just went crazy and like.
But that's crazy, like being a mom and knowing that your kids are getting abused.
Like letting that happen to your kids is pretty like that's crazy.
And not only that, later finding out that your sons like find out that that you know about it.
That's
it's
like,
crazy.
Uh-huh.
And so like according to what they were saying is that damn, like they murdered their own parents at the house with shotguns, you know.
They were so shotguns in San Diego.
Yeah, I think it was like a fake ID or like a cousin's ID, something like that.
I think they used Lyle's roommate ID to buy the shotguns.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And like I'm pretty sure.
And this happened like in the 80s, right? Like 80s. I think it happened like around the 80s, 90s. But yeah, they just showed up with two shotguns, pulled up to the house, and I think they were like watching TV.
They were watching TV, yeah.
And so I can't imagine them just like a barrel, just two barrels looking at you. You're like, damn. And by your own sons too.
Yeah.
And obviously, like the cops, like later, in the investigation, were like, well, there's no force of entry, like, you know what I mean? So they had to know who it was. And apparently, they just walked up in the room, and they at point blank, they just shot them. They just shot them. And like a shotgun is not like a bullet, you know what I mean? It's like it sprays, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I can't even imagine like their head getting blown off and their body part. Oh my god, I can't even believe that. But not only that, after they shot him, I guess the mom was still alive. She was crawling or whatever, and then they went to the car to like dispose of the guns and all that. I forgot who it was. One of the brothers, Lyle came back from the car. He went straight back, and all you hear is like 8 more rounds, just boom, 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 boom. That was crazy. I mean, I guess to make sure that they were both,
yeah, they're both
dead. And the crazy part is, I mean, like the crazy part is that obviously they were dead, right? And then one of the brothers was like going like he was going crazy.
Eric, he was like he was like really like he was going through it.
He was guilty because he's like, I knew what I did was probably wrong, but like, you know what I mean, the whole psychological thing. Mm-hmm. Like, damn, dude, like you know about this and nobody else knows about this, and you're like trying to hide it. You think about it every single day.
Yeah.
And not only that, also like the guns you use, like the shotguns are gonna be like super.
He was like having like nightmares too, so like he was like really.
Imagine like obviously like if you do that to somebody, right? Every night you're gonna be like, damn, I just did that. And nobody knows about it. You're gonna think and be overthinking every little thing. Always watching over your shoulder, like, damn, did they catch me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess one day it just caught to him, and he didn't want to talk to his brother because he felt like if he talked to his brother would have, took him out. So what he did was he talked to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I guess he was well known.
It was like Dr. Uzio.
Yeah, I guess he was well known or something like that. And he talked to him, and of course, the psychiatrist can't tell anybody what you guys are talking about unless it's like you're gonna harm yourself or harm somebody else. So then he just spilled the beans. He was just like, yo, I did this, I did that. And come to find out, the psychiatrist was recording he had recording files. And this guy, he had recording files, and he had the files at his house. But come to find out, this guy had a mistress.
Yes.
What a wild story to actually get caught, right? Yeah. You talk to a psychiatrist, and your own mistress, because your mistress, he already had a family, the psychiatrist, and the mistress wanted to move in. Move in.
Yeah, I saw
that is crazy. And she actually moved in for like a couple of days because he was like, "Oh yeah, she's just my patient." You know. And the mistress wanted him to abandon his actual family. I think he had like a kid or two.
Yeah, he had a kid.
He had a kid or two. She wanted him to abandon his wife and his 2 kids.
For her.
And then one day he was just like, "I've had it with you. I can't do this anymore." I would say, for the sexual reasons, but he didn't. I don't think he obviously loved her, but he was like, "I can't do this anymore. Like, I don't want to see you no more." I don't know if it was the same day or the next day within that week. The mistress called the FBI or the psychiatrist and said, "Hey, yo, I got a story for you about the Menendez brothers." Next thing you know, his house got raided and they found the files and everything, and they locked the boys up, and that's how they got caught. But think about it, if it wasn't for his brother speaking to the psychiatrist, they probably would have never.
They probably.
And I think they were trying to say that the mafia killed them.
Because during the in the documentary, like in the Netflix series, it shows like them on the way to the funeral, and then like they're obviously surrounded by like paparazzi and like reporters, right? And then they talked to the brothers and were like, "Who do you think it was?" and blah blah blah. And then they were like, "Oh, it was probably the mafia," because his dad was a CEO of a music company, right? Mm-hmm. So like they were like, "Oh, my dad worked with like shady people." So
they probably thought they were trying to get after him, or maybe he owed money to them or something.
So they thought they said it was a mafia, but turns out
that is crazy. Just doing that with shotguns, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But and then right now it's going on TikTok and all that's going viral because of the Netflix show or what happened on Netflix, like the whole Menendez show. Now there's a lot more eyes and views.
And then they also recently, the DA of LA now announced that they're eligible for parole. Because they weren't eligible for parole before.
Because I think they were locked up for at least 30 to 35. They're in prison right now, and they're locked up for at least 30 to 35 years.
Yeah, it's been
So they did time already.
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy.
And they were only I think Eric was only 18.
They were young. Yeah, they were young. They were pretty young.
20-something.
And I've seen pictures of them, before and after, and it's pretty crazy.
Yes. But the only reason, they, are now eligible for parole is because they found the evidence of, I think it was a letter that Lyle made about, him talking about the whole, abuse and everything.
Oh, the whole abuse and all that?
So they're taking that into evidence, and then because of that, the DA was like, okay, we see the situation that there was, and then so they're now, eligible for parole.
That's crazy. Imagine 30 or 35 years just locked up.
And the brothers were separated. They weren't even together.
Yeah, they're separated.
So, imagine.
No, but I know. They were talking about how, in one of the day when a Netflix show came out or something like that a couple months ago, they reunited for one day or something like that, and they got obviously super emotional, because you haven't seen your brother for 30, 35 years. I can't even imagine that.
Now, I believe now they're in the same prison now.
Oh, same prison?
Yeah, so they're together at the prison.
But yeah, man, that Menendez story is pretty crazy, and I think in a couple weeks, in a couple months, there's gonna be another hearing to determine if they're gonna get free or parole or more years or
It's crazy though.
Yeah.
I feel the whole Netflix show was it brought back it brought back the awareness of the case, but the whole did you know that one of the Menendez brothers were oh, this is a bad demonstration of the documentary, or the bad demonstration of their life. Cause cause I watched it too, right? But I think the director wanted to show them as good, but also them as bad.
Oh, gotcha.
So show two ways.
Shows
but,
both sides.
Honestly, that made the documentary more confusing. And then even one of the Menendez brothers oh, this is not the real us. This is not really happened. What happened was that we were actually sexually abused, and it was rough. But the whole thing it was pretty interesting. And it's it's pretty crazy what happened.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Graphic for sure.
Yeah, graphic.
And I'm pretty sure soon, in a couple weeks, a couple days, we're gonna hear hearing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Something else that's also interesting, I would probably say, is the Chernobyl incident.
Is that in Ukraine? I think it was in Ukraine, right?
Ukraine, but it was in Ukraine. But during this time, it was. So this happened in April 20, on April 26, 1986. During this time, it was under the USSR. So the Soviet.
Oh, the Soviet Union when
Yeah.
you had the multiple states under Russia. Gotcha.
Yeah. So during this time it was a USS, but it is now like today is Ukraine.
Ukraine.
So basically, one day, so in that area, they had like nuclear like power plants to give them energy, like
Yeah, give them energy.
So then one day, they were gonna run tests at the power plants when all of a sudden like something goes wrong and the whole thing containing the radiation explodes.
Oh God.
So you like imagine like radiation being like.
And not only that, like
air.
obviously in radiation, like. Obviously, if like a bomb goes off, something like that, it's physical. You know what I mean? But radiation can be like you can't see it. You can just
exactly.
You can just detect it by like sensors or scanners. You know what I mean? So you can be like in a deadly zone and not know it. And next thing you know, you just die. You just fall.
So like, it was just like all this radiation was like being spread in the air, and obviously like there was a town nearby too. I forgot what the town was called, but it was a town nearby, so people were there. So people were in danger. But I remember like. Because I watched this documentary series.
Wasn't there like a city abandoned or something like that?
Yeah, I think the whole city was like.
The whole city was abandoned. There was too much.
Yeah,
too much radiation.
Yeah, and nobody came back because like it's still radioactive.
I think it's the most radioactive place on the earth. I think.
Because like you just can't go back there. So basically, yeah, that happened. The thing exploded. Radiation's in the air. They had and then all these firemen and the people that worked there were like, of course, they were trying to stop
but they were being exposed to.
Yes.
Oh
so, but like, because of that, the whole firemen and the whole crew that worked there, within 4 months, they all died.
They all died. Yeah, and that's the thing about radiation. Like, it takes a toll on you because, like, let's just say, for example, in that case, the firefighters, yeah, they might not have been too exposed to radiation, but after a while, after a couple months, like, you just die. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just die. Because, like, I know it can lead to like cancer, but like also like in general, just like.
It's a horrible way to die.
Really, yes, it's a horrible way to die. Especially in the I think it was a HBO or a Max. It was a Max series.
I think there's a movie on Netflix about Chernobyl.
In the Max documentary series, they really showed like what it did to the people, and like it was really graphic and like really.
But I can't even imagine like obviously done like that in a graphic way as well, right? But like imagine like living in the city. Where you have memories, you have a nice house, nice car, and then next thing you know, hey, yo, you guys gotta get out because it's too much radiation and never come back. That's crazy.
But the thing is that they didn't even tell the town.
Oh, they didn't tell the town?
They didn't even tell the town. And the crazy thing about this whole accident is the USSR, they try to like cover it up.
Oh, so it's not our fault. Something happened.
Yeah,
or...
no, like during like the month of that the accident happened, they did not tell the town, like the townspeople, that you gotta evacuate for this reason. They just say you gotta leave town. And also, so you know how like Sweden is near Ukraine, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing that like Sweden has also like radiation stuff. So like they have radiation detectors in their land or something. They detected like huge amounts of radiation coming from Ukraine. So Sweden was like, what is going on? What is this? Oh. And then because of this, they demanded like the USSR leaders to respond back, and that is until like they told them like the truth, like what really happened, yeah, and all this. When the USSR tried to actually like cover it up and stay silent about it.
Because when stuff like that happens, obviously in the big, especially at a nuclear plant, if a big explosion happens, if you have countries that are around you, you know what I mean, they're gonna be like, yo, what are you guys doing? Yeah. Are you guys doing like nuclear missiles or what's going on? Like, you know, and then you never know. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy though. Imagine dying that way. Like, wow.
It's just like.
Because I'm pretty sure like with the whole radiation, all of that, your whole like because I'm pretty sure it affects your inside of their body, like your cells and.
Yeah, it stops your cells from regrowing.
Oh damn.
So like you're like. You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Which is like pretty bad, and there's been a lot of like cases of cancer because of this accident. A lot of people have gotten cancer for this.
But obviously, obviously, if the USSR like they try to cover it, but like yo, like this is too big to cover. Like you know what I mean? You can't cover that. Like, what are you gonna say about a whole city just being abandoned overnight? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is a crazy situation. And I think you can still go to certain parts of Chernobyl because
But you for sure have to have like a whole radiation suit and the sensors. Yeah, the sensors. And I'm pretty sure like you can. I know because I've seen videos of them going in there, and I'm pretty sure like you can go in there, but
not
you
to
can.
the planet.
Not to the definitely not, because obviously the more center to the planet you go, the more radiation you're exposed to.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that once your chute gets to a certain point, or your detectors, yeah, you cannot go, or if you go, you're not. You know what I mean? You don't know if you're gonna come back.
So,
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's
I can't imagine being in that city when that thing went off.
like you don't even know when you're like being exposed.
And like I
to
said,
all this
you don't know.
radiation.
You don't know. You just, what way do you go? You know. And then especially with the wind, you know how like if it's in the air,
Yes.
like the way the wind goes is gonna impact a lot of people.
It's pretty crazy.
The topic I want to talk about, and I'm pretty sure everybody else wants to talk about. Have you heard about the
Dude, I
Congress
actually did
talk?
not hear about
Oh
this.
my god!
I did not know this until you told me.
So last year, I think it was last year, a couple years ago, Congress had like a hearing about like UFOs and all that, but that was mainly more about like the air, right?
Yeah.
But this one, they just had it like a couple of days ago, a hearing about. They don't want to call it UFOs. They want to call it like UAPs or something like that.
I think I heard they wanted to change the name. Yeah.
They want to change the name because UFO is mostly for like an unidentified object, but in the air.
Yeah.
But UAP, something like that, is for like unidentified object on the air and in the water.
You're lying.
And there, I guess it was like these couple. I don't know if they're whistleblowers or just people who talked to Congress about it. But it was like high-ranking officials from like the Air Force, the Navy. And some of the stories that these guys were talking, I was like, what in the world? So we have aliens in the water now.
That's
I mean, like,
crazy.
to be honest, like, I would have thought about it. I would agree because I was like, yo, like, NASA, did you know that NASA, before exploring space, used to explore in the oceans? Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
So NASA used to explore the oceans, right? Like the depths and all that, and submarines and all that. And then out of nowhere, they switched up. And it started.
Weird.
That's pretty weird. They know something, and then they just started. That's when they started going in space and the whole like space war with Russia and all that.
Yeah.
But that is crazy how all of a sudden NASA went from exploring the depths of the ocean to just boom, we're going to space.
They must have found something.
They must have found something, and they know something, or stuff like that. And I don't know if you know about this stat, but like we only have explored about like 5% of the ocean, which is wild.
Like, you're telling me we've only done 5% of the whole
whole ocean.
Like, you know how many oceans? Like, that's a big, like, leftover.
Mm-hmm. Not only percentage, but like how deep we go. You know what I mean? Like how, because like for example, like the latest thing that happened with the whole like submersive,
the submarine.
like we can't go that deep. You have to have specialized submarines and all like that. But some of these stories, like one of the stories they were talking about is, I think it was a high-ranking naval officer. He was saying that he had a credible source. So you know how we have nuclear submarines, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, like the public, we don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Right? But they're nuclear. And so I guess the UFOs, before they were UAPs, they're well known for like hanging out or like messing with the navies and the armies, like because you know how in some states they have ballistic missiles of nuclear.
Yeah.
Like let's say for example, if another country just tries to like send nukes, automatically those nukes from the US will go. So there's states like that, and within the states, the UFOs will like hang out, or like they attract them. I don't know if it attracts them by radiation. And so obviously these submarines have nuclear missiles, just in case. And some of the stories that they had was that the nuclear submarine, sometimes they get I don't want to say chased or followed.
That's crazy.
That is and imagine you can't see.
Yeah, no,
you can only
like that, like
you can, you know the radars they have, like the little circle thing that goes around.
Yeah.
You can see it through that, but you know how it does like a whole circle. By the time you see it and it goes again, it's gone. And when in the radar they can tell how big it is and all that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say that these things are bigger than the submarine.
That's
and the
crazy.
nuclears are like, those are big. Those are like 2 football fields. So imagine something being in the ocean, and these go fast. Like within 1 second, they're gone. And sometimes they follow the submarines, the nuclear submarines. That is crazy. That is wild. But like, damn, like we have aliens in the ocean now. And then now the question is, are we the aliens? Like, how do we not know?
Like,
have they been here for a while?
I know, definitely.
Like next thing you know, mermans and mermaids are coming out.
The whole
Hey, you never know, mermaids.
underwater.
Hey, that makes sense.
Like,
But that's.
I would never think aliens underwater.
No.
I would never think. I would think like there are definitely like probably some creatures.
And the thing that's crazy is that it's not like they just. Some of them are, because you know how like the whole like the typical UFO vehicle like cylinder like circle thing and all that other tic tac. It's not like they just stay in the air. They go from air and then just dive into the ocean.
Really?
Yep, like full speed, and gone.
Damn.
And there's multiple videos where like they're in the air, like obviously in the air, like hella fast. Because you know how they get chased by like the fighter jets sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And the fighter jets like, yo, what is going on? Like, who is this? Is this like Russia? Who is it? Like, we don't know who it is. And you know how they do formation sometimes, like training, and all you see is tic tac little things just go through the formation, and like they have to like dive around. It's crazy. And now we know about aliens in the ocean. Mind you, guys, I'm already scared of like
aliens in the air. But
aliens
like,
in the air. Now I can just oh, you're coming with me, and then just merman comes out of nowhere and it just gets me. That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
Not expect aliens in the water.
I mean, I'll be honest, like I kind of figured out, like, yo, like, we don't know anything. And then not only that, every single year, like, new fish, new jellyfish. Like, the more deeper we go down, the more cameras we get down there, the more species we uncover,
We're constantly, like, exploring the ocean.
And then, I don't know if you know, but the deeper you go, the bigger the fish are, which is weird. Do you know about that?
No.
So, like, the bigger so, for example, like, there's this set of, like, crabs.
Yeah.
Or like the big squid. Like huge in Alaska. There's humongous squid that have like long tentacles, but they can only be found the deeper you go. Like where there's no sunlight.
That's crazy.
And then mostly all these animals that live down there, they don't see, so they just they feel or by lights, like they sense.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy, Once you get down and then now with this whole thing, now you have aliens.
That's crazy.
That is wild. That's pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
So that is pretty much the last story for you guys today. Our episode's gonna be dropping every Saturday, so tune into next week. Please hit that subscribe and follow button. Subscribe, like,
comment too.
Comments, comment,
Yeah,
but thank you for joining us of the Overthinkers podcast. Hope to see you guys soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Peace.